Welcome to Wellness Wednesday with the Department of Parks and Recreation, Prince George's County. This is your home each week to stay healthy and motivated on your path to wellness. Let's live more, play more indoors.
Hi, Miss Briscoe back in my home kitchen. Today I wanted to take a little time and talk to you about portion control. Now, portion control is basically the amount of food that I or you choose to eat. It's not necessarily what is on our nutritional fact sheet because those are serving sizes that are suggested at that point. But when we're talking about the portion control, it is what I choose to eat. So today I wanted to show you that we have a choosemyplate.gov, and you can Google that and it gives you ideas and suggestions on what pretty much the government decides on how much food that we can eat that would be a good portion size. But we know that we can't walk around with measuring cups and we can't walk around with measuring spoons. So the best thing to do is to get some ideas on what a portion may look like for me or for yourself. So I have different plate sizes that I wanted to share in my cabinet. I have this size plate, I have this size plate, and I have this size plate, which most of us have different sizes that we eat off of. Now, if I look at the suggested plating for the My Plate, it's roughly about this particular size plate. So this would be a good suggested plate for me to use. So if I decide other ways that I can measure my food without having to worry about how much it is, I can use home things such as a half a cup is roughly the size of a tennis ball. So when I'm looking at something also such as a potato, I can also measure that out and I can get a nice sized potato, but not having it too large. Other things that I can use a matchbox. A matchbox is really good for measuring out the size of a piece of cheese that I want to eat. That gives me another visual. So I have that as well. I also have butter, and I can use dice to measure out roughly how much that is. And again, those are suggested items that you can find to look at. We also have a piece of bread. Piece of bread can be utilized from a home item, such as a disc. A disc can give us a good measurement of the bread. We also have a deck of cards, and you've probably heard that before. How much meat or fish should I eat? And sometimes it's about the size of a deck of cards. So we have a piece of salmon here, which is about the size of a deck of cards. If you take a look at that, it's kind of measured out that way. So you can utilize that as well. That's a better picture for you. All right then, so any type of protein is good to use a deck of cards for 3 to 4 ounces. So then we take all of these different measurements and we put them on our plate and we decide, okay, here's some fruit. Your fruit, again, your apples. We know we want to have more fruit and vegetables if we can on our plate. And then if we decide that we want to have another grain, which is our bread and our potato, and then we also have our protein, then we have a nice size meal to eat. You can also use the best tool of all, which is your hand. Your hand when you're in a restaurant, you can decide, hey, how much of a portion should I really eat? Again, you can use your fists. That could give you, again, the size of that potato that we talked about. Okay, so that's a good gauge for that. We can also use the palm of our hand. The palm of our hand is good to measure things such as your pasta and your rice and things of that nature. That's good to use. We can also use our thumbprint. Our thumb, the entire length of the thumb is good to use as well, because that would be good for salad dressings, 1 to 2 tablespoons. And then the tip of our thumb can be utilized for that butter that we may want to enjoy on our roll. We can also use the palm of our hand. The palm of our hand is where our protein can fit in, which was our piece of salmon. And that's going to be another way to kind of gauge the amount of the meats or the fish that we should eat. And again, these are just suggested items to give us an opportunity to look at, hey, how much is too much or how much is just about right for me? And portion control, again, is the amount of food that we choose to eat in our plate or our setting under a meal. So again, I hope it's helpful. They're just little tips now that we're spending more time again in our home kitchens and we're having more meals. We just want to enjoy what we're eating, but at the same time, have fun doing it. Another suggestion is when you go to your favorite restaurant, ask for half a portion. If you notice, a lot of our meals are getting larger and larger for the amount that we get. And sometimes we end up eating the entire plate of whatever it is that we've ordered, and it may just be a little bit more than maybe we could consume in one setting. So a good rule of thumb is, can I have a carry-out box? And I think I'll go ahead and take that amount and take it home and have it for another day. Sometimes you can get 2 meals out of just one that you've paid for. So enjoy, have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thanks. Take care.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in again for the next Wellness Wednesday.